Sierra has all the best active and outdoor brands for the super athletic stuff, like running gear for cruising up the trail. Woo! And the super athletic-ish stuff, like fishing gear for chilling by the creek. Nice cast. Fitness apparel to push for higher reps. You got this. And golf balls priced so you can afford to lose one. Or a few. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athletic-ish, Sierra's got it.
This is Optimal Living Daily, Brain Training by Tynan of Tynan.com. And I'm Justin Malik, your narrator, reading to you from the best articles online every day of the year. So let's continue the tradition as we optimize your life. Brain Training by Tynan of Tynan.com. There's one fundamental tool I use all the time because it's so adaptable. I use it for myself and for a large number of my clients. I don't know if there's some official name for it, but I think of it as brain training. We will all naturally gravitate towards activities that we find enjoyable and move away from those we don't. It's human nature and it's hard to combat. We can force ourselves to do things that are good for us for a short period of time, but if they are too onerous, resistance will build and we will probably quit. This led me to wonder whether I could just change what I like and what I don't like. Could I prefer healthy foods to unhealthy ones? Could I prefer work to idleness? Discomfort to comfort? The answer turns out to be yes. You can change virtually anything. Most interesting was the discovery that our brain's set points tend to fall in a very narrow range. It wasn't a Herculean task to change my brain to preferring to work over slacking off. It wasn't like I was at a -10 and had to get to 10 to change my behavior. It was more like I was at -1 and had to get to 1. This turned out to be roughly true every time. This is a powerful tool because you realize that you can essentially change your life just by moving the needle a tiny bit. Right now I'm on a cruise ship and I'm spending around 4 to 5 hours writing each day. There are any number of distractions like laser tag, go-karts, and huge water slides, but I actually prefer to write. When I sit down with my laptop and a blank page, I feel great. When I go do the water slides, I look forward to finishing up and getting back to work. This is nowhere near my natural set point. In school and even in my own work after school, it was a big process to get myself in the groove. Not so anymore. This technique is equally effective when changing your perceptions of things, including of yourself. If you perceive the world as a great place full of great people and opportunities, wouldn't you be happier than if you had a more cynical view? What if you saw yourself as someone competent and able to handle anything versus someone fragile and helpless? Simply changing these perceptions will affect how you live your life. And like preferences, perceptions also tend to live within a very narrow band. It doesn't actually take much to tip the scales from thinking the world is a terrible place to thinking it's a great place. This is a process I've gone through many times personally and with others, and it's always a pretty small change. Small change or big, how do you make it happen? The first step is to clearly define what you want your new belief to be. Maybe it's washing dishes is enjoyable, or I feel best when I'm productive, or even people value the work I do. Understand that the empirical truth of any of these matters is a gray area. Do you like washing dishes? Well, you're just a bag of meat and neurons, so there's no reason it couldn't go either way. Do you feel best when you're productive? There's no reason you couldn't. Do people value the work you do? Some do, some don't. The absolute truth of nearly anything like this is arbitrary and subject to change, but your perception of it will have a concrete effect on your life. Once you know what your new belief is, you must collect evidence to support it and ignore evidence to the contrary. The actual problem you're trying to solve is that your brain is currently trained to see too much of the contrary evidence and not enough of the supporting evidence. So we must recalibrate it by training it to see the other side. And just as you bend metal a tiny bit by applying a lot of force, we must do the same to our brain. The most reliable method I found for doing this is to keep a daily diary of evidence supporting your new belief. Set a rule that at the end of the day, you must write down 5 or 10 examples from your day that support your new belief. For example, let's say that your goal is to enjoy being productive. Your list might look like this. Number 1, in the middle of work today, I had 15 minutes where I was making tons of progress and I felt great. Number 2, solving a really hard problem felt great when I was done. Number 3, at the end of the day when my work is done, I feel accomplished and proud. Number 4, I got complimented on my work today and it felt great. And number 5, when I got to work late today, I really felt bad. All of these are pretty minor things, but our opinions are mostly made of a large connection of minor things anyway. The diary serves 2 main purposes. The primary one is to force you to think throughout the day of supporting evidence. In any given day, there will be plenty of evidence for and against a new belief. But if you know you're going to have to record only the evidence for the belief, that's what you'll be looking for. The secondary purpose of the diary is to provide you with evidence whenever you are questioning your new belief. Is it really possible that you like working? Well, here are 50 bits of evidence from the previous 10 days that say that you do. This process sounds very basic and simple, but it is incredibly effective. Don't let its simplicity fool you. You can typically expect to see some results in 1 month and profound results in about 3 months. You can become an optimist, stop being a slacker, or get in better shape by preferring healthier foods. You just listened to the post titled Brain Training by Tynan of Tynan.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Tax season is one of the only times we look at our full financial picture, but Monarch helps me see where my money's going and where a tax refund will have the biggest impact because I want to make progress, not just wonder where it all went. Simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop. Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code LIVING. What I love is that Monarch keeps me focused on hitting real milestones, not just tracking spending. Its AI insights even surface hidden patterns, so I'm always planning ahead. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple. Use code LIVING at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code LIVING. I used to leave doctor's appointments feeling like I learned nothing. Just, you're fine and out the door. That's why I'm excited about Superpower. They send a licensed professional to your home or you visit a nearby lab for one simple draw covering over 100 biomarkers, way more than a typical checkup. Their app breaks down everything from your heart and thyroid to hormones and metabolism. Plus, you get a personalized action plan. Head to superpower.com and use code OLD at checkout for $20 off your membership. Thank you to Tynan. The idea that you can actually change what you enjoy, not just force yourself to do things, but actually maybe start to like them. I think most people would find that hard to believe at first. Most of us walk around with these fixed ideas about who we are. I'm not a morning person. That's me. I don't really enjoy cooking. Also me. Or I'm not someone who likes to exercise. Sometimes me. Maybe all of that is true right now, but maybe it doesn't have to stay that way. And a good point, you're not trying to go from hating something to loving it overnight. You're just trying to shift things a little. Baby steps as always. The diary, he talks about writing down a few examples each day that support the new belief you're trying to build. That's basically focused journaling, and it's come up in a few different ways on this show over the years. The thing that's different here is you're training yourself to look for that evidence throughout the day, which means you'll actually start to notice it. So maybe pick one thing about yourself you'd like to change and try it out. See how it goes, because if it works, that could be a game changer. So something to think about today. Thank you to Tynan for this one, and thank you for being here. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.